Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have the Death card. What is it that needs to transition or come to an end for you this week? It does look like you are focused, you're very heavily focused on what you're ending, what you are completing, and this is very much a week actually where a lot of you could be doing you know, like the recon sort of work. It does feel to me as well like this is a week where you're kind of tying up loose ends, like whatever those loose ends are. This is about you saying, right, okay, you know what, I can't do that, or it's taking up attention space, it's taking up too much energy in the background of my mind or the background of my psyche, so it's time for me to release it. Now with the Death card as well, remember this is endings, it's completions, it's culminations, but it's also that moment of choice, right? It's that moment of choice to let something go. And very often when we refuse to let go of what the Death card tells us needs to be done, that's where we run into problems with the Tower. All right, so this week you're being asked to really look around, look through your lifescape and see what's coming to an end, what's coming to a conclusion. For your actions and options, you have the Five of Cups, right? So if I'm completely honest with you, Sagittarius, it's interesting, right? Because what I talked about in your monthly reading, it's a great month for you. However, what is the caveat? I said to you there would be a payoff, right? You would have to give something in order to gain some stuff. Now, you got the Five of Cups here. What is the Five of Cups? It's about loss. It's about mourning, right? It's about really letting something go or letting something perish. Now, the difficult thing here is that in order to move forward, it looks like you're having to acknowledge how you actually feel about something. This is being very honest with yourself, being very open with yourself, with others, with the people that you're surrounded by or connected to. It will see you this week as well. You may be faced with a situation where you have to let something go, where you literally have to say, you know what, this has come to an end. This has seen its final conclusion. This has seen its last sunrise, whatever that might mean to you. You know, this could be anything. And, you know, I touch wood that it isn't a pet, but, you know, or a person. But as I said to you, I don't feel like this will be sudden, and I don't feel like it will be a shock. I think it will be somebody that likely has had a good innings, and it will probably see you having to really extricate your feelings from the whole thing. All right. On a personal level though, it's time for you to let go of some of that inner baggage, whatever that means to you, right? This is a time for you to really think to yourself, what is the stuff that is weighing me down? And if I'm ready, you know, if I'm really ready to fly, I'm going to have to take those bricks off my feet, right? And that's not to say that anyone that's leaving your life was a brick to your foot or anything like that. It's just saying that sometimes when we free up our internal space, when we put down the bag of rocks, we can go swimming, we can fly, right? And that's the energy that you're dealing with this week. For your communications and conversations, you have the King of Wands, right? So you've got a, this is you in your, you know, more or less. King of Wands, usually a fire sign male. Taurus, Capricorn, really rough. Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. And this comes up in your communications and conversations. So it looks like a lot of you, now we talked about this, you were going in a completely different direction. You were doing, it looks like this week, that old self is it's like you're letting go of that old self, and this week you're launching into it with saying, well, actually I used to do this, or I've been known for this, and actually now I'm going off in that direction. This is what I'm going to be doing from now on. This is what I want to be known for. It's what I want to be aligned with, and you are singing it from the rooftops. Anyone and everyone that will listen, you are telling, you know, this is who I am now, or yeah, you know, this is who I am now. This is who I choose to be from here on in. No matter what my skills or status or position has been before, this is what I choose it to be now. And sometimes we have to go through the grief of letting that old self go. You know, I've been through this this experience on a personal level. When you finally let go of some of your pain and your trauma, some of your, you know, your early hurts, you know, the ugly stuff that's there, it can be really disconcerting, because you think to yourself, well, okay, well, if I'm not all of that, then who am I? You know, but you've got to be brave enough to do that. And it looks like you are doing that this week. So if you have a little moment where you're like, oh, you know, I'm letting that go. Like, that's my job. That's been my whole career. That's been my this. That's been my that. Have that moment, right? Have that moment. Feel that grief. Feel that loss. Because what's coming through is a new version of who you are. And it's going to be one that is so much more truer to who you are. That everybody can be around you and can shine, but right, when people live in their authentic truth or their authentic expression of what they're here to do, you just gravitate towards them. You love them for it, because it kind of effectively gives everybody else permission to do the same thing. That's what I really believe. It's not just because we're becoming more liberal. I really feel that's why we're seeing a lot of the stuff that we're seeing on the wider world stage. Because everybody's like, wow, okay, well, if that person's got the, you know, the guts to be all of that and who they are, I can be who I am. I can do what I really want to do. That makes sense. All right. So for your money and materials, you have the Moon card. No big purchases this week. This is not a week for big financial money moves. And the reason I say this is because the Moon card, unless it's something that has already been on the table, in which case you're fine. But the Moon card is about the past, right? But it's also a lot of confusion. This is where you don't necessarily see something exactly as it is. So when it comes to your finances, just be very cautious. If somebody is asking for a loan of money this week, it's an absolute no. When it comes to your health, this is definitely not a week for you to drink. I mean, even just a little bit. Remember, this is a month where you are spiritually coming into a wealth of power and energy and magic and whatever you want to call it, right? In that case, even the slightest thing that alters your consciousness beyond what is controllable, because we can't control, unless you're like, you know, you've done years and years of the training and you know, you can do all of those deep meditations. Nobody can control their physiology. So even just the smallest bit of alcohol or whatever substance is the one that you like to enjoy could really throw you off this week. It's a big no for me, especially with the Moon card, because the Moon card is all the waters. So if you're drinking, if it's alcohol, if there's some other liquid substance that you can take that alters your consciousness and stuff, my advice is no. You could go in this week and not necessarily come back out intact. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that to frighten anybody. I'm just telling you what I see with the cards. 5 of Cups, that, aside from all of its other traditional meanings, that's overindulgence, right? Then you've got the Moon card, the waters. When we're talking about your health, this is a big no. Right, so just to put that out there, on a home front, you could be gaining a lot of warmth from the home, but you might be kind of doing that. You shut the curtains, you know, and close the door. We're not home. You could be feeling that this week, right? And if you are feeling that, just be gentle with yourself, but don't become reclusive. It's important that you maintain a connection with the outside world. Maybe not necessarily people, but definitely the outside world. For your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Love is good this week. Your relationship, your partner is good. However, if there is going to be something that divides you this week, it will be a big purchase. One of you, I can't see specifically who, but one of you looks like you want to move ahead with something, and the other one's kind of like, well, I'm not sure, I don't know. All right, so find a way to mediate that energy. For those of you that are single, it does look like there could be somebody coming in. However, it's likely that this person is coming back from the past. For those of you that are partnered, that is your issue. It's something of a financial nature. All right. So very interesting, very powerful week. I'm intrigued to see what you guys put in the comments. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.